Go walk up. You want to see inside the river. We're gonna wait here. Go over to your blue buff, like stand right next to it. This is my student Polymark. He's been hovering around silver for his league career, but his goal with the game is to hit platinum, and I think he has the potential to do it. Closer to by the wall, by the wall. You need to start recalling quickly. By the wall, your blue
Okay,
buff.
okay, you want me to ward my blue and recall,
Yes,
right?
yes. So just recall hit here. No, no, no. So reset, reset, reset. You need to stand next to the wall, and while you're recalling, wait for the last second of your recall and drop a ward. Now, I need you all to understand why I was panicked in this moment. You see, the idea of dropping a ward, resetting, and grabbing a sweeper is really good because you utilize using the cooldown of the ward and swapping over, giving you some information at the beginning of the game. However, the danger is you need to make sure that you reset at 55 seconds because if you don't reset on time, the minions are going to spawn and you're not going to make it to your buff on time. And if your bot lane tries to leash you, you're going to force them to come late to lane. And that can actually entirely lose the lane for the bot lane at the start of the game. If you are going to do some sort of play and you want to get back to your buff and reset, do it at 55 seconds. That's the second you need to hit recall and make it back on time for your buff. Switch over to sweeper and then go to your red buff. The reason why you do that is you want to check if you get invaded after you go for the bot lane gank.
Okay. So I go in that bush and I recall thereafter.
Yes. So you're checking if you get invaded, but the thing is you did it way too late, and now you're coming back to your red buff not on time.
Yeah.
You need to do it at 55 seconds exactly, or else you're going to be late. Now you're forcing your bot lane to stay and leash longer than they have to, and it telegraphs that you're leashing bot lane because Morgana took HP. You're going to Raptors after this. Kite upwards. Raptors.
Okay.
Yeah. Take E. Yep. It's the same way. You clear it the same way like you do it when you go the other way. Good. Auto the one that has the most HP. Yeah. And you're going to Krugs. Where are you going? Krugs.
Okay.
I said red Raptors Krugs. Good. Look bot for a second. Okay. We're gonna reset
Good.
here. Just reset. Level up your Q. Good. We're gonna buy longsword. Go straight to our Gromp here. See, you see our bot lane is losing because you were slow, right? You have to understand that.
Okay.
We're going to Gromp here. Gromp. It's very sad, but you see how the small seconds matter. I was trying to explain to you that you need to be fast because if you don't not on time, everything's gonna go wrong. Look top for a second. You want to see if you can gank after this. You can come up there after. Look for you want to go straight over to the scuttle crab here. Yes. I might head over to top lane to help Rumble shove in the wave. Okay, so right now we're at the stage of the game where we've cleared our bot quadrant and we're coming off of a reset with the longsword going up towards our top side of the jungle. When you clear your bot quadrant, your idea is to play for your bot side. The second that you reset and go to your top side, this is the area you're playing for now. So you need to be aware of when situations occur, like say the enemy jungler does a full clear, right? If you're meeting at the time that the enemy jungler does their full clear, you need to look at the top lane as you come off your reset to see the state whether you need to go there or not. In this case, our Rumble was 1 HP and he needed to shove out the wave because he needed to reset. I told my student to do Gromp here and then come over to the Scuttle Crab and look top lane because at this time I knew that Amumu would most likely be in this area considering that he hasn't shown on the map yet. We're coming off our reset and he did a full clear towards top side. You need to kill this fast. As fast as you can.
Do I
Smite
smite?
it. Yeah, smite. And then go top. You need to put your camera there to make sure that wave gets under. Now you can go to go. You see, this is why I'm looking here, right? Because we need to protect him. Good, he juked it. Okay, Uh, go ahead and invade. No, just go to your jungle and clear your blue and then your wolves. Um, you did not need to flash there. You rushed to play, but it's okay because I know that you wanted to secure the kill. This is why I recommend that you do um, flash Q, remember? I don't like it when
Yep.
you do Q flash because it's a lot harder to do and it's only necessary when you're trying to surprise your opponent. There you just need to connect your Q. So in the future, I just want you to do charge Q, flash, and then let go, okay?
Okay, gonna try it.
Okay, okay. I would go mid here. Yeah, go around from the left side. Sweep on the top side. Hug the left side. So the keep going, keep going. You want to keep going closer to him. Wrong pathway. You're going from the wrong direction. It's okay though. Keep going. Keep. Why I was saying that he was going the wrong direction. You see, when he was approaching the gank, he decided to go like this, hugging this side, come up here, and then come around like this. But this is not how you want to approach this gank, because when you approach a gank, you always have to assume that there's going to be vision in every bush. So we're going to assume that there's vision in this one and this. And when you think like this, it allows you to eliminate unnecessary wards that you don't have to pass by. You want to narrow your attack and come from one direction so that you can optimally gank without crossing over too many spots that could be warded. He should be hugging the left side, because if you just cross over like this from this hugging this wall, you actually don't get spotted from wards in this bush. Also, you have to consider it's much harder for Gangplank to get this ward in this bush over here. He has to really have a big push and then have time to leave the lane to get this ward out without losing minions or advantage in the lane. It's important to understand that you need to be minimalizing the chance that you get spotted on your ganks. That also means that you're going to be pathing in ways where you're going to be in places that are harder for the enemy to ward and are harder for them to spot you. And the second thing I wanted to mention is that this plan of attack here on the Gangplank is not going to be coming straight to him. We're not going to just run straight at Gangplank, come up through the lane on vision, because we don't actually have that play available for us. We have our flash blown already. What we need to do is make sure we're able to connect our Q. And the best way to do that is not to approach from in front, but actually come behind Gangplank and try to set up the dive under tower. We cut off the Gangplank's escape right here, because if he's not able to come back here, he's going to be forced to 1v1 Kiana in a fat minion wave. Once you're here, set up in position, you need to look for the window of opportunity when your minions crash under tower, and that will give you your go ahead to go for your dive. This is the whole idea of a dive. One thing I'd like to mention when you are going for ganks in the future as you approach higher elo is to watch out for these spots. You see the corners here? 1, 2, where I'm standing right here, 3, 4. These spots often get warded in high elo because mid laners understand that it covers a lot of gank pathing towards their lane, so they keep these spots covered. Also, what will happen is if the enemy mid laner is able to push up, say Gangplank pushes up here, sometimes he will drop a ward on your Raptors and then track you through your jungle and know what side to lean on. If you're doing Raptors pathing down, then he knows that he's going to play on the top side of the lane so that he can stay safe from any ganks from the bot side of the map. He's going to hug on this side of the map so he can always just fall back here and run away from you and Kiana. This is something you're going to have to think about when you get into higher elos. Showing against enemy laners can be very detrimental. If you do want to play for mid lane, just make sure that you follow the steps of optimally pathing. There's a lot of angles of approach that you can use creatively to get to the enemy mid laner. You see, if you're ever going to play for mid lane, it's inevitable that you're going to be spotted by wards here. If you're not playing for mid lane and you're just trying to get to your side lanes, like your top and your bot lane, you never want to just risk coming through here and showing yourself on the map, ending up getting yourself tracked by the top laner or the bot lane. Look, you need to look at the wave to see when it crashes on your tower. When I said you need to look at the wave here to see when it crashes on your tower, it's because the second that this tower is targeting the minions, that's your green light to go and dive the Gangplank. Land your Q auto E and he'll die, right? That's all it takes. As soon as these minions are under tower, you can go ahead and dive the GP. Now, the second thing that you need to do when you're setting up this dive is you need to be watching your minions on the minimap over here and on the bottom right. You see here that as you're coming up, the minions on the other side, the enemy's minions mirror your minions. So you can always tell when the enemy minions are going to come to lane. So the reason why you need to know that is because you want to pull the minions away from the lane so that your minions guaranteed have a crash under the tower. You see, if GP decides to step up and walk into the minion wave, he can stop himself from getting dove, forcing himself into a 1v1 situation. That's why it's important to also hold this wave. Gangplank is forced to tank all of these minions. He can't just walk back to tower, because as soon as he walks back to tower, then you can dive him. You have to play this little game of tug of war with the enemy mid laner, or whatever laner you're trying to dive, where you pull the minion wave and make sure that your minions crash under tower. You don't want to show though. You can, as soon as the wave comes, you can go. You want to hold the wave so it doesn't get... See, the problem here is he didn't have his camera on the wave when we needed to see the tower connect with this minion here. This minion actually saves his life, because had he had gone and this minion was not targeted by the tower would have aggroed to him first, and then he would have to be forced to back off. And now Kiana's in a 1v1 situation, most likely not going to get the kill. The difference of this gank was all determined by this little minion right here, which is very scary. You don't want to do that. That's why we pull the wave. We don't want this minion to intersect with the your minions outside of the tower, delaying the dive and allowing GP time to get help or more resources to escape. Under tower, bro. So the tower is targeting these 3 melee minions, but once these melee minions are dead, he's going to get aggroed, so he needs to act fast. So Kiana actually does a really nice ultimate that sets up him to actually kill GP. He lands the Q and he does E. The problem with that is it makes your combo a lot slower. And you see, Gangplank is still alive and able to move. If he had like flash here, he could have actually escaped. You need to make sure that you're able to land your Q auto E. Even if they flash after your auto E connects, it doesn't matter because the E will follow them. He's able to stand still and get the last auto attack. He could have done this much cleaner and avoided the second tower shot he's about to suffer. Okay. We're missing execution on our Q auto E combo. And also that was a little misplayed. You need to reset now. Yes. You need to open up your shop. Look, Amumu's on the minimap right now, walking beside you. And buy one more boots here. Buy your boots.
Boots?
Yeah, boots. And go bot lane. Ping Mumu on bot lane. Yeah, there you go. There's a lot of things happening on the map, and you're reacting very slowly to them. So I'm sounding panicked. I just want you to know not to feel like ashamed or anything, okay?
No, it's all right.
Okay.
I'm here to be pushed.
Expression is of urgency, not of like anger, okay? Yes,
It's
go
fine.
around. This is good. Go for this. Go behind him. This is good. Save your Q. Just auto first. Good. You could have played a little bit better, because when you want to make sure you Q him as soon as you got behind him, you just need to Q him back. Clear the wave. Clear the wave. Don't leave the wave like that. You need to make sure it pushes under tower. Use your abilities on the wave. You don't care about Jhin right now. Okay, just back off here. Just go clear your Krugs, and then you're red. I'd like to take a look at this one more time and just run over this play with you guys. The approach. One thing that we should note is a red buff actually runs out here. It's just something we should consider. Just know we don't have an auto attack slow. As you can see, our red buff runs out this moment here. Right? Now, I tell my student to go behind the Jhin and auto him and not Q him. The reason why I want him to do this is because I want him to close the distance to eliminate the risk of missing his Q in the first place. Just auto first. He actually played this perfectly up until he tried to auto attack Jhin here. The only thing that he needed to do to make sure that he secured this kill, continue walking and stepping outside of Jin's W. If he cut off Jin's escape, like coming from over here, and just walked outside of his trap over here, he would have avoided getting stunned and put him in a position to Q Jin back towards our Morgana, who can then land Q, and you guys can converge on Jin together. That was the idea. However, unluckily, he did auto attack when he was like in front of Jin. He should have only been auto attacking when he's behind Jin. And the reason why we do this, we pretty much use our body as a way to like keep ourselves in our auto attack range, so that as Jin is walking back, we don't actually lose the chance to auto him. It's nice that he actually holds on to Q here, because preferably you want Q to gap close. And it's good that he did that. He just didn't use Q at the right timing. In this gank here, the only way you kill Jin is if Morgana lands Q after. Even if he lands Q auto E, another auto attack is not going to be enough to finish off Jin's HP, which is about like 60%. This is another reason why I suggested that he buy boots here, because boots allows you to deliver damage. We're just buying another longsword would have allow him to have more damage. However, boots enables you to get your damage off. Here, because he charges Q, Jin actually panics and he blows his flash. Good. You could have played a little bit. So now that Jin has backed off, it's very important that you shove in this wave here. Know this now. If you're not sure when you should be shoving a wave after you gank, you should always consider the minions and what your teammates are doing at the moment. Right now, Morgana needs to reset, and Miss Fortune is not in lane yet, so she's going to be coming towards this lane right now. Whenever your teammates need to reset and are not in lane, that's when you need to make sure that you shove the lane in. The reason why we shove the lane is that so that the minions can come back and push back and bounce back towards your lane as you come back. If you have the lane pushing like this, when you come back to lane, the enemy team has a chance to freeze the lane here. You're going to have to walk all the way up here as you come back to lane, and it's going to be very unsafe. It's just not a good position to be in. So here, what my student should have done is just started shoving this wave immediately so that it doesn't give Jin the chance to freeze this wave. He should have cleared this wave as fast as possible and then pressure Jin off with his Q whenever it's off cooldown so that he can't touch the wave and this wave crashes no matter what. Better, because when you want to make sure you Q him, as soon as you got behind him, you just need to Q him back. Clear the wave, clear the wave. Don't leave the wave like that. You need to make sure it pushes on your tower. Luckily here, Jin is not very smart and decides to start shoving back. When really Jin, all he needs to do is let the wave push towards him. If Jin just left the wave push towards him, then you need to make sure that this wave gets shoved under. But since Jin is auto attacking the wave and hitting the wave, it's now creating a situation where these minions are actually going to be pushing towards Miss Fortune's side, which is good. So this is when I instruct him to actually just leave and go back to his jungle camps. Wave. You don't care about Jin right now. Okay, just back off here. Just go clear your Krugs and then your red. You need to make sure after that play, you shove in the wave, or it's not going to be good news for your team. Like, the team needs the wave to bounce back to them when they come back to the wave. Okay? We're going to talk about that later. You can actually go do dragon right here.
Goes Mumu west up?
Yes, and Mumu's top. You need to look at where he's pathing towards, though. Just go ahead and start it. You can Q over the wall and start it, yeah. Good. I want you to just focus on the dragon for now. Use your abilities on cooldown. Yes, good. Save your Q. Don't use Q. You're gonna smite this and then go to your red. Red. We're not invading him, no. We're too low HP here. You're gonna do red, Raptors, reset, and then you're gonna go towards you're gonna go to Rift Herald. I would ping. Okay, we see a Mumu right there. Yeah, good. We can invade his bot lane. Actually, never mind. You can just go straight to Rift right now. Stop doing Raptors. Go to Rift. Yeah. Actually, that gave you level 6, which is good. Go Rift as soon. You just got pressure from top lane. It's a clear indication to get a free Rift here. And Amumu's low HP. It's good that you check. Yeah, you want to Q from outside the wall so it doesn't see you, which is really nice. You can actually go closer though. You don't have to be so far away. And on your incoming, actually Q the rift with your Q. It's important that you execute your damage on Vi perfectly on your camps because your clear is so much slower than everyone. Okay? So we
Okay.
can't be lazy missing our Q going on rift there. Also, we could be dodging these auto attacks from the rift for taking free damage. Make sure you take that. We don't want to be taking free damage for nothing, okay? You want to be moving in between your autos. Also, you could have already been started that Gromp. You need to make sure that you're on top of the range of your Q from the camps. Pay attention at this part because it's very important to improve your jungle clearing speed and your efficiency. You see, at this moment, Vive Q is up, and the range to hit Gromp is going to be like right here. If you need to start charging your Q from here, and as soon as you hit this point, your Q is going to be able to connect to the Gromp. And the reason why we do this is one, you start the camp sooner than later. Two, the damage on your Q value is now determined mostly based on the fact of how long you charge it. So if you're charging short Qs, they do almost no damage because Riot actually nerfed Vi's minimum Q damage charge, but they increased her maximum damage on a fully charged Q. So if we look as I press play here, he's going to actually walk all the way over here to the Gromp and then start hitting it when he could have just started way back here. You want to be moving in between your autos. I know this seems like minuscule and not very important, but every single time you do these small inefficiencies when you clear your camps, it adds up over the games, and as you enter higher and higher elo, you're going to find that you're just going to be behind on tempo against every other jungler because they're not going to be making these small mistakes. They're going to be outpacing you throughout the entire match.
Max charge Q, you mean?
Yes, yes. The reason why this is important is because they nerfed Vi's minimum range damage on her Q.
Okay.
But her maximum charge damage is increased. So you can't be lazy with your Qs anymore. Also, you didn't need to E there. You should have saved your E for this camp here. After we clear wolves, we want to touch mid lane. Also, we want to make sure our Q is hitting all 3 wolves, not just 2. And your E as well. Your auto attacks and your E's need to be connecting everything. It's important for Vi's clearing. Don't touch this wave. Go to the fight, yeah. Need to see what's going on there. We have flash Q for Jhin, or maybe just walk closer to him. You can Q onto the gangplank or just escape. Oh, yeah, to try to take the blast plant. Towards your tower, yeah. Q over the wall. You need to Q faster. You have to understand that the Mumu Q is coming. You holding on to Q for too long there, and the way that you're clicking is you're clicking in very odd ways. That's actually allowing them to close the distance on you. And we're gonna talk about this after. Here in this situation, my student has all of the right ideas for this type of fight, but misexecutes in some areas. Let's take a look. So he starts off with the flash R, which is something I really like. I suggested to him to start with Q, like try to find flash Q onto the Jhin, but these two were in the way. So he opted to just immediately flash and then connect R onto the Jhin. Now this is going to secure him the kill. From this point on, he has to choose whether he wants to Q back onto the gangplank or just run away. At this point, when he kills Jhin, he has the idea to run away, but he did it in the wrong order. So instead of just immediately using his Q to run over this wall and then blast plant over and try to run away this way towards his tower, he holds off on using Q right away. He ends up walking around trying to Q to the blast plant, and it's too late because Amumu's already closed the distance between him and the blast plant, so he can no longer just Q away, Q towards the blast plant because he gets stunned. You can Q onto the... See, had he had just right at the start, Amumu wouldn't have time to close the distance and try to line up a Q on him. He has a straight shot to actually line up Q, jump right over here, and take this blast plant to go over this wall, further increasing the distance from Amumu. Gangplank or just escape? Oh, yeah, to try to take the blast plant. He is able to create some space, however, GP is still here. I wouldn't really consider him much of a threat right now, though, because he's 0 mana. He has no mana. He actually can't cast abilities on Vi right now. This is what I meant when I was telling my student that he was clicking oddly. I can't see his clicks, unfortunately, because of the way that he was streaming to me. But it looked like he clicked towards Amumu, and then he clicked up over here, when he should only be thinking about running away at this point in time. So Gangplank actually tries to flash an auto here. He gets the auto off, but it doesn't really change anything. The thing that he should be thinking about is dodging this Amumu Q, because if he can dodge it, he can 100% make it out alive. His next path of escape is going to be right over this wall, coming over here. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean again when I said he was clicking oddly or strangely. So you see he clicks over here. I don't know what this click is for. You want to be hugging the wall and just like trying to create as much distance as possible. The moment you start clicking in directions like here or here, and instead of just a straight line, what happens is Amumu is able to come closer and closer to you. Like this line is going to get shorter and shorter eventually. That's why I was saying to him, you're clicking in a way that's allowing the enemies to close the distance on you. You never want to do that. Whenever someone's chasing you in League of Legends, the only time you're moving left or right is if you're expecting a skill shot, like a straight line to come for you, and you try to like predict when it comes so that you can be out of the way so it doesn't intersect. See, towards your tower, yeah. You see how he clicks down right here? The distance of him and Amumu has now shortened. His click is over here this time. Again, it should be just direct. You see he was walking in a straight line already. He was heading like this. He started to click over to another direction, and now Amumu's caught up to him even further. Yeah. He's done it again. But this is actually not bad of a direction change because it's very sudden, and he also can change direction again once his Q is back up. Sharp turns like this is really nice because if Amumu decides to ever shoot his Q in one direction and you go in another, that's not bad. However, you want to make sure that these clicks are very close to your champion. Whenever you're changing direction, the further you click away, like say you're clicking this spot here, the longer it actually takes for your champion to change the direction that they're moving in. However, if you stay within your bubble and say you're clicking like within here, over here, your champion actually changes direction a lot faster. So this movement here is really good. It's not bad. You just need to make sure that your clicks are very close when you're trying to dodge skill shots. Q over the wall. Now here, this is something very specific to Vi. He actually could have escaped Amumu here had he just released Q sooner. A couple of patches ago, Vi's Q gained increased range when jumping over terrain. So this amount of charge that he has right here is actually enough to clear this wall. You can actually immediately tap on Q and it will push you over the wall just because they increase the range, the startup range of Vi's Q when going over terrain. So here, had he just released Q right away, Amumu would actually not be able to land Q on him. And this was the last mistake that nailed the nail in the coffin.
You said I was using my mouse in odd ways.
Yeah, you're clicking in a strange way that's allowing... Okay. You need to look bot lane right now to see the fight. You're not going there though. You're just going to clear Krugs. So you need to be looking in the places where action is happening so we can make our next decision, okay? So it looks like Amumu's heading towards his jungle here. What is Jin doing with Lux in the wave? Yes, this is what you need to pay attention to. Clear your raptors here. And maybe you can consider ganking bot lane because they're pushing so hard. And you have vision on them. Yes, you're going to go straight here, straight to bot lane. You need to punish them for this. Amumu was pathing towards his bot lane jungle, so you have to be careful. Wait for a Morgana to approach and then go. Ping. You need to ping them that you're coming. She caught Lux in the bush behind you. Drop the Rift Herald and dive Jin. You can just Q and then R on him.
Yeah,
Drop the Rift first and
yeah,
then
I
try to
can
dive.
cooldown.
Yeah. Save your Q just so you can come dive him. Just Q up and then R him. You're being chased right now. Turn
Yeah.
around. Turn around. Yeah. You need to use your R to cancel the CC, bro. Q. Nice. Run. And you need to sidestep that. This is the problem that I wanted to see. I wanted to see your clicking to see what mechanical errors you're doing. There's a lot of things I'm picking up here, but it's okay because you can work on them and finally pick
Perfect.
apart these issues they're having. I like that you went for the play on Jin. I think that if you did it a little bit earlier, you would have got the kill. Go ahead, clear your red here.
No Jin?
Mm, he has vision, so it's gonna be hard. You can go through the tri-bush here and try to find Jin. You have R. Yeah, he's alone. Lux isn't there. Go bot lane. Jin. Use your Q to get behind him. Get there as fast as you can.
I engage with R?
You can use Q. And R if you mess up. You need to see him first. You need to keep vision on him. Okay, and we need to do our combo properly so our support is not stealing our shutdown gold. Shove out the wave. Remember what I told you before about landing Q? We don't shoot our Q out if we don't see our target. If we don't see our target, we need to make sure we get information. You could have used Sweeper there to see where Jin was. We can't be making these minor errors like this. We can go and invade his wolves here. You can just walk at Gangplank. He can't do anything. You can just walk at him. You're stronger than him right now. Back off.
Yes.
Yeah, back off. Go clear your raptors and path up. Yes, this is the right call. You could go do Krugs and then kill Jin. You just need to wait for your R to come up. We could have charged max range Q, but okay. We need to work on these inefficiencies here in your game. But just keep playing your game as you are. Should go behind him and try to stall for your ulti. You need ulti to kill him. So in this moment here, when this tower drops, we actually lose vision on the Jin. The most important thing here is just to land our R, because if we can connect our R, we can apply our red buff that we just got from taking the red buff a few seconds earlier. And the way to do this, to find the Jin here and not get juked out over this wall coming this direction or coming this direction, or maybe him even going further and catching this wave that's over here, we need to actually queue over this wall. You can actually make this gap now, since that change I mentioned a little bit earlier, how your Q pushes you over the wall a little bit further. So you can queue over this wall, find Jin in all three directions, because if you come in this area right here, Jin either has to walk back up here, his other escape is up here through this way. So if he chooses any one of these directions, if you make it in this spot right here, he can't actually escape anywhere. Your R range from here is like this, right? So it literally covers all of his options of escape. Up. He's going this direction. Q.
Oh.
Did you lag out?
No, the game alt tab. I don't know why.
You can flash Q. You can kill him here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone's missing.
Sweep. Sweep. Okay, you don't need to flash now. You can just Q him. Yeah, just flash. R. There you go. Auto E. Nice. I would go up. towards Scuttle. Just get vision. You need to look at your character, your champion, as you walk in. You can't just walk in a straight line like this, because you're playing against a Mumu, so he's going to be aiming around corners. So you have to be paying attention. Now, this is a low elo mistake I see people make very, very often, where they don't respect Fog of War. Fog of War is very dangerous, and you have to react to all the information that can correlate to you getting killed. Consider like boxing. In boxing, all boxers are taught that they need to keep their chin low, because your chin is actually a sweet spot for getting KO'd. So, if you don't want to get KO'd in League of Legends, you need to act correspondingly to the information presented you on the map. Let's take this instance as an example. We see Darius in the top lane, and we see Jen dead right now. Also, a few seconds ago, Amumu, he was coming off of his death cooldown, and he could potentially be right here at this moment in time, maybe even here or around here. That means when we're coming into this unknown territory, we can't act like we could just walk through like we own the place. If you just walk through, he could be setting up to kill you as you come through this area here. We don't know if this place has vision or not, if they have vision on us as we're walking coming out of here. These are things that we're not sure about, and we have to take into consideration. Vision. You need to look at your character, your champion, as you... So I was saying that you need to look at your champion here, because you need to be moving in a way that's going to allow you to not get jumped on in the jungle when you're approaching Fog of War. So let's say Amumu's set up right here, or he was set up right here when we didn't see him by the Fog of War. We need to consider him having vision on us here and even landing Q here. So we're not just going to come around corners, walking in a straight line, giving him a free shot of landing Q, right? Since we see this area here now, you can now start playing accordingly to this information that we have. You have to go by it piece by piece though. You can't just like walk in and think you can get away with that all the time in higher elo. Think about CSGO or in any FPS shooter. If you are in an area where you expect people to be, you're not just going to swing open, try to fight 16 angles at once. You're going to go after one angle at a time, right? So it's the same idea with League of Legends when you're trying to approach Fog of War. You don't want to just randomly walk right in and swing every single angle. You have to take the information you have and then use that information accordingly when you're approaching dangerous territory. So here, I wouldn't be pathing like this. I would go around here and play around this fact that Amumu could potentially be here. At least this bush over here. Instead of just walking towards this bush, I would walk here, and then the second I come in range of his Q, I take a hard direction upward or I take a hard direction downward. And even though I don't see him, I'm going to do this movement so that just in case he flings out his Q, it doesn't connect with me, and I have an advantage if he tries to continue to fight me, right? Not only that, he reveals his position, and now I know I have this much space to play around, right? This is a concept that not many people think about, but is very important, especially for assassins who don't have invisibility like Vi. At least you have some maneuverability, right? You always have Q, and your Q is a short cooldown at this moment in time to actually help yourself stay safe. If you wanted to, instead of just hard juking with a movement command, you could just tap Q in one direction. The only thing you have to recognize is if there is somebody in this bush, instead of fighting them right away, you're going to have to disengage because your Q is going to be on cooldown. But that's fine. At least you're able to act as a scout. If you enjoyed this coaching session, stick around for part 2. And this is Classical Kill out.